All right, here we are going to do some more factoring. This is the last couple of things that is in your NTI packet. All right, so a while ago in the 8-4 section, we factored out a monomial. Okay, we factored out one thing, which is great, works awesome. We really need that skill whenever we get to Algebra 2. We'll need it later on in the next chapter, whenever we start doing graphing quadratics. You gotta have that, okay? Gotta be able to factor stuff out. Now, that is awesome, and it works great sometimes, okay? So here's the deal. Sometimes we have to do a little bit more. So let me just show you this one, factoring, and we'll come back to this in a second. These are just the notes that we did, that I made you copy. I'm just going to go over them because I think I got them organized really good, as opposed to just doing some random example, because I want to kind of go through this. This can be a little bit challenging if you do not follow the right steps, okay? This is also, Photomath won't do this. They won't do it the way that I want you to do it. So you can't just turn in work, or I'm sorry, you can't just turn in answers on this. You actually have to show me the work and show me what you did for me to take it, okay? So this is really important to pay attention to this part. It's not terrible. I actually really enjoy it. It's probably one of my favorite things to do in math, weirdly enough. And actually, I've had some kids before that tell me they really like doing this, and I don't know why, but it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of challenging, and it's not something you've done before. But it's not terrible if you can multiply. It's not bad at all. Okay, just like I like to follow steps. If you like to follow steps and have a nice algorithm or something, it shouldn't be too bad. All right, so what we did a while ago is if I said factor this, okay? We have this right here, x squared plus 8x plus 15. You try to break it down into the prime numbers and see what all you have in common, okay? So I've already went ahead and done that step. I broke x squared down to 2x's, 8x into 2 times 2 times 2 times x, and 15 into 3 times 5, okay? Now, awesome, looks great. There's a problem. Why do you say a problem? I'm asking you like you're here. What is it? Okay, so I'm looking up here. The problem is none of these have anything in common. Like these two both have an x, but that's it. I mean, nothing else. These don't have a 3, these don't have a 5, these two don't have a 2. There's nothing. I mean, there's nothing in common. So I have to be able to factor it, but I have to be able to factor it differently, okay? And I'm not just going to be able to factor out one number. If you think back to what we did at 8-3, I think, yeah, 8-3, a couple of NTI sections ago, we had things that look like this, like 2x plus 3 times x plus 5, okay? And we can multiply all that together and end up with something that kind of looks like that, okay? Looks something like that. And this one does not go to this one. I just randomly made that up, by the way. But so this is actually going to break down into two different binomials instead of just a monomial times a trinomial like we did in 8-4, okay? Now, in order to do that, we have these set of steps, okay? These are very, very important, and I made them up, okay? I made most of these up, which I'm pretty proud of. So, all you have to do is go step by step till you get to the bottom, and you will be able to factor any kind of quadratic, any kind of trinomial. It works all the time. It's really awesome, okay? One thing we got to look at, okay? So this, you see in here, it says like multiply A times C, put B at the bottom, okay? We got to figure out what A, B, and C are, okay? That's the first step. So if I'm just looking at this random thing up here, okay? A is the coefficient in front of the first set, okay? In front of the x squared. B is right here, and C is right there. Just the whole numbers, okay? Just the whole numbers, not the variables. The x's have nothing to do with it. So just the numbers in front of them. So if I look at the example that I'm about to work out, if I look right here, A is right there. Well, there isn't a number, but there is a number. Actually, it's an understood number. So A in this case is 1. B in this case is 8. And C in this problem would be 15. Okay? So 1, 8, and 15. Just the whole numbers, not the x's. There's no x's over here, okay? So that's where I get A, B, and C from. All right? So that's the first thing. You got to know. All right, so let's just start going through the steps. The first step, and I'm going to make an x, and you got to make an x on all these, because it's called the x method or the diamond method, or rather either one. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my x, okay? And I'm going to multiply the number A and C together. I'm going to put it at the top of the x, okay? So in this case, A was 1, C was 15, so 1 times 15, whatever that number is, it goes here. Well, that's 15, okay? Perfect. Now, at the bottom, so that was done, I'm going to do the next one. At the bottom, I'm going to put the B number at the bottom of the X. So the B number was 8, okay? Now, I have to start thinking about factors, okay? I need all the factors of 15, okay? I need something that multiplies together to give me 15 and adds together to give me 8. And that's what I'm looking for right here. Find terms that multiply to the top and add to the bottom. And you put them on the side of the X once you figure out which ones. Okay, so I'm just going to start listing. All right, so if I had 15 times 1, that's an option. Okay. I have 3 times 5, that's an option. And I don't think there's any other way to get 15. Well, there actually is. You got to remember these. And I'm going to go ahead and write these down. We won't use them here, but we will again. Negative 15 times negative 1 equals 15, and negative 3 times negative 5 also gives you positive 15. Okay, so those are all options. Now, I've got to look at those 4 choices right there, and I've got to figure out which one, if I added them together, would give me 8. Well, 15 plus 1 does not give me 8. Negative 15 plus negative 1 does not give me 8. Negative 3 plus negative 5 doesn't give me a positive 8, it gives me a negative 8. But right here, if I take 3 plus 5, that gives me 8. So this is my one. Okay? That's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to use these 2 numbers, and I'm going to put them on the side of X. It doesn't matter which one you put where. You put them either way. Okay? So I'm going to put a 3 right here. I'm going to put a 5 right there. All right? So I found my term. I found my factors. Now, I've done that step. I'm going to take both sides. Hopefully the bell will quit ringing. And I'm going to divide by my A number. Okay? My A number in this case was just 1. Okay, that's really easy. I can divide anything by 1. That's not too bad. So I'm going to take 3. I'm going to divide it by 1. I'm going to take 5 and divide it by 1. And if I can, I'm going to simplify it. But in this case, it's not going to simplify because 3 over 1 is already pretty simple. Okay? I'm pretty much done with all my math. I'm going to write out 2 sets of binomials. Okay? The bottom number in each one of these, like this is going to be one set, this is going to be the other. Okay? So the bottom number, all these are going to have an X in them. All these are going to have an X in them in front. The bottom number goes in front of the X. The top number gets added or subtracted on behind. Okay? Bottom number goes in front of the variable. Top number gets added or subtracted behind the variable. Okay? So that's 1x plus 3. This one's going to be 1x plus 5. And that's my answer. Okay? If I were to take this and multiply everything out, use my distributive property like I did a while ago, earlier in the section, earlier in the chapter, multiply this times this, then times that, that times that, that times that, add your like terms in the middle, you would end up getting what you started with. You would end up right over here. X squared plus 8x plus 15. Okay? So this is the factored form. That's my answer right there. But if you multiply it back out, you end up back where you started. And that's how I know I got it right. Okay? This is important because when we start doing quadratics in the next chapter, this is one way to solve a quadratic. This is the easiest way to solve a quadratic. You'll have to do this all of this chapter and all next chapter. So you might as well just learn how to do it. All right, let's try another one. Let's try another one right here. And I went ahead and copied the things. I don't know if you can read them on there or not, but I like to keep these in front of me when I'm doing these problems, the steps, and it helps me stay organized, so I know it's going to help you stay organized too. All right, first off, I got to figure out what A, B, and C are. Okay, remember, A is that number, B is that number, C is that number. If it's got a negative, you can throw it in there. Okay, so the A is once again 1. That's going to be all of, I think all 8-5 and A is 1. Okay, 8-6, they change it up on you. That's the difference of the two. B is negative 11, and C is 24. All right, so I'm going to plug in everything that I have. At the top, I'm going to do A times C. So I've got 1 times 24. 1 times 24 is just 24. Okay, so that's, remember, that's A times C. At the bottom, I put my B term. My B term in this case is negative 11. All right, so now I've got to list all the factors. I've got the first 2 steps done. I've got to list all the factors that multiply to give me 24 and add to give me negative 11. So let me just start listing stuff. How do I get 24? I can do, let's see, I can do 24 times 1. I can also do negative 24 times negative 1. I can do 3 times 8. I could do 3 times negative 8, or sorry, negative 3 times negative 8. I could do 6 times 4, and I could do negative 6 times negative 4. I could do, what else? 12 times 2. Yep, I could do 12 times 2 and negative 12 times negative 2. Okay? I think those are all the factors I can think of. Now, I just got to look up there and see which one of those, out of those 8 combinations, adds to give me negative 11. And this will get easier once you do it a couple times. You won't have to list all of them. Once you find the right one, you can actually stop. You don't have to list them all. But it looks to me like if I take this one right here, negative 3 and negative 8, and I add those together, I should get negative 11. So I'm going to put them on the sides, negative 3, negative 8. Okay, going back to the next step. I'm going to divide both sides by A and simplify. A is 1, again in this case, okay? A is 1. Like I said, all of these first ones, A is 1, so it's really easy. And then the next section, it adds a number there, and that's the only difference in the 2 sections. Simplify if I can. Those will not simplify. They're already done, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and list my 2 parts. I'm going to write it out. Both of them have an X in it. The bottom number goes in front of the X. The top number gets added or subtracted. If it's negative, it's going to get subtracted behind it. And then the same thing right here. This one is going to be 1x minus, and that's my answer. Okay? 1x, quantity 1x minus 3 times quantity 1x minus 8. If you multiply those together, you end up right back where you started, right back over here. Okay? Let me go ahead and do, while I'm doing this, let me do one of the ones from chapter 8, section 6. Okay, I'll show you the difference here. They're very similar, very, very similar. Okay, there's literally the only difference is there's a number in front of the A in this problem, in these problems, and not the difference. Okay, so let's just start here. This one looks great. Just do it. Okay, so same steps. My steps aren't listed. Oh, there they are down here. Okay, I got them listed here at the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna multiply A times C, and I'm gonna put it at the top X. Let me just delete this so we don't have to worry about it confusing you. All right, so A times C, it's gonna go at the top of my X. A, B, C. If there's a negative, it's a minus. Okay, or if there's a minus, it's negative. So in this case, A equals 3, B equals 4, and C equals negative 15. Okay? All right, so A times C goes at the top of my X. A is 3, C is negative 15, 3 times negative 15 is negative 45. Okay? My B term goes at the bottom. So I've got the first 2 steps completely done. Now I have to find terms that multiply to give me the top and add to give me the bottom. I'm going to put them at the sides. Okay? Negative 45. Well, I know I can do 15 and 3. That one works. Let's do 3 times. Well, how do I get a negative? I have to think about that. Okay, so one of them has to be positive, one of them has to be negative. Just a little trick. Okay? You're trying to figure out which one's positive, which one's negative, and you start adding. If this number at the bottom is a positive, that means the bigger number over here has to be the positive number, and the smaller number has to be the negative. Okay? So if I did 3 times 15, this is a positive 4, so the 15 has to be positive, and this one has to be negative. Okay? Like that. Let's go ahead and list another one. What about 9 and 5? So this is a positive, the bigger one has to be a positive. Okay? It has to match the same sign. Same sign right there. So if I did positive 9 times negative 5, how else can I get 45? I can do 45 and 1, I guess. So I can do positive 45 times negative 1. And I think my answer's up here already, so I'm just going to stop right there. There might be some more I can't think of off the top of my head. But I know those will work. I got to see which one of those adds up to give me a positive 4. Okay? In this case, it looks like 9 times negative 5 works. Okay? 9 times negative 5 works. So I'm going to put them at the side. I'm going to put a 9, I'm going to put a negative 5. All right, now, this is where it gets a little bit different than it was last time. It's not hard, it's just one extra. It's just, you got to simplify it in a second. I'm going to divide both sides by A, and I'm going to simplify. Remember, A in this case was 3. So I'm going to take this one, I'm going to divide it by 3 and simplify. Divide it by 3 and simplify. If it can, okay? Some of them will, some of them won't be able to. 9 over 3, it will simplify, and I'm just going to leave it as a fraction. I'm not going to turn it into just 3. I'm going to turn it into 3 over 1. Okay? 3 goes into both of them. That's how I got that. That's simplified, so that one's good. This one, 5 over 3, negative 5 over 3, doesn't simplify, so it's already good. Okay? Now I'm going to take my parts, I'm going to write them out. I've got everything done except I got to write my answer. Put it next. The next, do the same exact way. The top number goes in front of the variable. I'm sorry, bottom number goes in front of the variable, top number gets added or subtracted on the end. So this is going to be 1x plus 3 times 3x minus 5. That's the answer. Okay? So this is the only difference, that on section 6, there's a number for your a instead of just a 1. Okay, so it adds like a little step right here. Okay, when you have to start simplifying, both sides to simplify. If it's just a 1, you really don't have any simplifying. But if there's a number, you have to simplify that out and then write out your 2 sets of binomials. Okay. I know it's a lot of stuff. I know it's not super easy. I will be here for you. However you need help, I can try my best to help you. Just do your best. Let me know what you need. Like I said, I'll do anything that I can absolutely do to help you kind of get through this. Some people have already done it. I've got a couple people literally already done this section. They did really well on it. They seem to get it. So, like I said, just do your best, and I'm here for you if you need. Okay? So yeah.